Hello, welcome to Des Brand, and this is MyTube, the quote unquote video podcast, supposedly type series where I talk about anything and anyone. I cut rants on people I personally know. I may cut a rant on businesses I have issues with, whatever the case is. Or if I read something of a headline that bothers me, like horrible parents, then I'll cut a rant on them as well. So, for today's subjects, first, there's a lot of movie apps out there, right? A lot of streaming services. So, as of yesterday, I think I now have four that I'm paying for as of yesterday. Netflix, we pay so our daughter can have her cartoons to watch while she plays in her bedroom, right? Especially when she's tired and she just wants to lay back and relax, she can watch her cartoons, right? So that's why we pay Netflix, and at least I know she's using it, okay? Then there's Hulu, right? Which my wife says she watches stuff on there. I myself, I don't watch Hulu. I cannot find anything worth watching, in my opinion, right? Um, Once in a while, as a family, we'll find something to watch on Netflix, but not really. Um, then there's Disney Plus, which once in a few months we'll pay for, and then we'll unsubscribe, and then we'll go back in a few months and pay for it again. Okay. I paid for it recently to watch WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series right on there. I can be aware of that storylines, so I'm not confused when I watch the next set of Marvel films. Okay, so that's why. And they were pretty good shows. Um, yeah, except for the finish of Falcon and Winter Soldier, the ending was but it was still good. Okay. Plus, we still have it. We can go in there and I'm still waiting for low key to come out. But here's the problem I have: when some of these streaming service give you the TV show one episode per week. I mean, this is not ordinary television. If I wanted to wait a week at a time to watch every episode, I'd be watching regular TV. Why don't you put it on regular TV then? I'm paying for give me the entire episodes in one sitting so I can watch them all in one sitting if I have the time. Don't make me wait a single week and week and week and week. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. And now we just got yesterday HBO Max, so I can watch The Conjuring. The devil made me do it, so we're gonna sit down a little bit later on today and watch that as a family. And they have pretty good stuff there. They have some good stuff else, things that you can watch if you haven't seen a lot of those movies or series. I ended up watching the pandemic special of South Park and then the vaccination special of South Park. The pandemic special was funny, it was entertaining. The vaccination special was anyways. But yeah, that's my only beef with all these streaming services is that you're paying for the service and you have to wait a week for an episode. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait till they're all up there. Then I can watch the low key series on Disney Plus before them to make me wait a single week at a time when I'm already paying. Why? Because they want you to. Because a 6 week episode, 6 weeks of television that they're putting 1 week at a time, right? I know their game. I know. because it's gonna cross over into the next month, and that's gonna make you have to pay so you can watch the last 2 episodes that come out in July. I'm not an idiot. I understand why they're doing that, right? To convince you to have to pay into next month as well, so they don't just have you for this month. I understand that, but come on, just give it to me all in one sitting. Not just that show, but any show that they do that with any apps. There's multiple apps that do that. I think they do that in Hulu too with their original series content. It's 1 week at a time they'll give you an episode. No, just put it out there all at once. It's ridiculous, I think. So yeah. But other than that, no problems with these apps other than in my tablet there's issues, but that's because of the tablet, and it's proven it's because of the tablet and not the apps. Okay? Now, Walmart, Target, and now Best Buy, they have all announced they will be closed for this Thanksgiving 2021, this November. First of all, why they're thinking about Thanksgiving in June is beyond me. But okay, they made that announcement. Is there a chance? In my opinion, there's a chance they could change that. Obviously, they could if they want to. In a month or two, they can go back on their decision and say, you know what? We're gonna open on Thanksgiving after. I don't know. They can still change it even a month or a week before Thanksgiving and make that decision. But why is this so important that it has to be announced about 5 months in advance? Why does this have to be announced 5 months ahead of time? Why? I mean, I thought they were closed on Thanksgiving every year to begin with. Isn't everything closed on holidays like this? Because really, who's gonna go buy their food in the last minute? Because usually people start cooking the turkey the minute they wake up that morning. And Best Buy is very unnecessary for Thanksgiving to begin with. You're not gonna go buy a freaking television or a laptop on Thanksgiving. You're spending time with family, eating dinner. I understand you might want a big giant TV to watch the football games on the Cowboys or whatever on Thanksgiving with the whole group of family or whoever else is invited, friends and stuff. But wouldn't you buy that ahead of time, not on the exact day of Thanksgiving? I don't know. But to me, it's like, why do you even have to make this announcement? Especially that much ahead of time. I don't know. That's just how I feel about this. And why? Why are they closing? I thought they were closed anyways. Maybe Best Buy and Walmart and Target. Okay, I can understand preparation for Black Friday the next day. That's probably why. But I said, I thought they were closed. Or maybe they just close early on Thanksgiving traditionally. I don't know. Or maybe they open, I don't know. Maybe they open late at 12 a.m. and they just mean they'll be fully closed, period. I don't know. But shouldn't this have been what they did this past Thanksgiving when the pandemic and the COVID was much more of an issue? Right now, that's not much of an issue. And I assume in November it'll be even less of an issue. So wouldn't this have been the decision for last year's Thanksgiving in 2020? Because why now? Why now? It's too late. You're not preventing anything anymore. That should have been the decisions for holidays last year up until this point. I don't understand that. But it is what it is. It doesn't really bother me because I'm most likely I'm gonna be working Thanksgiving, and it won't matter. Okay, it won't matter. And even if I was off on Thanksgiving, I wouldn't be going to Best Buy and all these places. in the last minute to get my turkey. I'll buy my turkey a few days in advance. Some people like to buy their turkey weeks in advance and their food. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I won't need a Target or a Best Buy or a Walmart, on the last minute. Okay. Anyways, now I'm going to talk about why I don't like to invite people over. There's part of me that's always like, I would want to invite people over. Like, I know my wife is very close and enjoys talking to one of my sisters, right? And I'm always like, okay, maybe I can invite them over so they can spend some time together here at home, talking or whatever, hanging out, whatever. But then I'm like, oh, their kids are gonna come, and that's why I don't like to invite people that have kids and a whole family, because it's gonna bother me when they're here. I'm being honest, it's gonna bother me when they're here, and it's just not hurt anyone with kids. It's gonna bother me. Like, I would like to invite them, but I know once they're here, it's gonna bother me, because it's gonna be like, they're gonna go into kids do what kids do. They're gonna go into my room, to my area right here, without permission. Even the 10-year-old is going to want to do that because they want to explore it and look around. Okay, I understand. No, I'm not going to like it. I don't want people going into this room. I don't want kids trying to get into room, and then they'll go into my daughter's room and they'll get stuff, and they'll just, it's going to bother me, right? I have toys all around the house that belong to my daughter. A few of them belong to me. It's gonna bother me, okay? It's gonna bother me having extra kids here that are not mine, okay? It's gonna bother me. That's the issue. That's the issue. Plus, when it's time to want them to leave, it's gonna be so difficult to tell them, hey, get the fuck out. Like, honestly, if they overstay their welcome, how do you tell them, hey, hit the bricks, I want to go to sleep? Like, at what point, Because maybe you're thinking, oh, and by then they can come over for an hour and a half, 2 hour tops. But they'll stay for 3 to 4 hours and you're trying to get rid of them. Plus, then you're in charge of providing water and freaking sodas or whatever for them, and maybe some snacks. As you're the host, you're inviting them, and now you're in charge of also freaking, if their kids need a drink, and then by the time they leave, your fridge is all empty of drinks. So that's why I don't really like to invite people. I like the idea of inviting people, but really, I don't want all of them with their filthy, dirty, disgusting kids here, especially during these, very strict times where you don't want germs around you because of COVID stuff, right? So that's why. So I don't know. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. That's just how it is. Like, that's just me being honest. Okay. You can't eat at McDonald's indoors just yet. I know, because a few weeks ago, during my lunch break at work, I walked to McDonald's hoping to go in there and be able to have my lunch. But there's a sign and the door is locked and the sign clearly states not allowed to the indoors or whatever, however it's worded, you're not allowed to eat in just yet. So I had to continue walking to the Wendy's and have my lunch there. I had never eaten Wendy's, right? And so now that's the only thing I can look at the menu and had to decide, nuggets. So now every lunch break, every week that I have my lunch break, I had to go to Wendy's, because McDonald's won't let me in to eat indoors, which sucks. You don't want my business? Then F you, McDonald's. Now you look bad, because now I know I can't go in there, which is bad business, son. Because think about it, if you have a teenager, about 15, 16-year-old, and maybe and they don't have a car and they're walking, they want to go into your McDonald's, they can't. And now they have to go elsewhere and put their money to another fast food restaurant to eat. And you're losing business. Just letting you know, McDonald's. Anyways, the last conversation here, I was reading online, and this came out of nowhere on my Google feed news of two different stories of students that weren't allowed, first of all, there's one guy who wasn't given his diploma because he had a Mexican flag. Now, a few days later, the issue was resolved or whatever because of it got word out and people were complaining. So the principal or whatever was kind of forced into, pressured into giving the diploma. But at first, he wasn't given the diploma just because he had a Mexican flag. Now, I understand about having American pride and you don't want other country flags waved in your face. I understand that. And it's kind of like, okay, you don't have a problem with them being Mexican maybe, but you have a problem with them waving another country's flag because it's like, wait a minute, you're living in the United States and you're supporting another country. I don't care if you're Hispanic or whatever. But at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with graduation. Okay? Yeah, this is not the place to be waving your Mexican flag and your political views. I don't care. First of all, it's a child who's barely graduating, so they're a child. They're barely going to start their adult life, so they're not thinking like an adult, not thinking as rational as you and I, okay? Me and other adults. So just you're gonna argue with a teenager basically who's about to start their adulthood because they're just graduating. Who cares? Just give them the freaking diploma. Who cares? Like, really. But maybe in the feel of the moment, the principal did not have time to think and he just reacted, right? I understand that, but why was it an issue? I don't understand why it was an issue that prevents him from getting the diploma. Like I said, it's a child, so it's like, who cares, right? Plus, it's not like they were protesting there and stuff. They were just wearing it around their gown. Like, who cares, really? And then the issue with the kid almost not allowed to graduate, right? Because he didn't have the proper shoes. What? Who cares what shoes they're wearing? These silly, stupid, ridiculous rules gets in the way of students enjoying their graduation. It's idiotic. Who gives a fuck what shoes they're wearing or what socks they're wearing? Who gives a shit? Let them graduate. You're ruining the special day of these kids. If that was my daughter, if you do this bullshit when my daughter graduates, all she has to do is call me on her phone, and I'm gonna let her take her phone to graduation. I don't give a shit what you have to say. She has that right as an American, and you can't take it from her because that's stealing, okay? She'll call me, and I'll go in your face, and I'll cut a promo on you, and I'll rant this to your face, and I'll take that diploma, and I'll shove it up your ass before giving it to her. Okay? In other words, I'm not going to let you ruin her special day when that day comes in her future. So you're going to give her this bullshit. You're going to have to deal with me. Okay? So good luck to you. So that's all the rants I have for today. And all the thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's other channels for me to promote here before I end it. Go to Death Paranormal. Go to Wrestling RIP for your wrestling type videos where I'll talk about wrestling. That's paranormal videos, obviously about me doing paranormal parodies or whatever you want to call them for entertainment purposes, not claiming to be an expert. So yeah, thanks for watching. Go check out my other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys pretty damn soon. Vlog you later. It's been good, y'all.